you know?
Yeah, well, I sent a bunch of links out today, and I just overlooked you, so I'm sorry about that.
Oh, that's okay. We made it work. No big deal.
That's right. That's what we do. We make things work.
That's right. Yeah.
And I'll stay out of the stream tonight.
Oh, okay. It's all a learning process, you know.
That's right. Okay, so you got viewers, so you're on.
Oh, okay. All right. Happy Monday, and we are here for yoga. We're going to do a flow tonight. As always, if you have a mat, grab a mat. If you like to work with blocks, you can grab some blocks. I'm going to fix my computer really quick here because I feel like you can't see my... There we go. There we go. I think that's better. Yeah, that's better. Okay. And tonight, thank you for joining me. And we're going to work on the hips a little bit. And when we work on the hips, a lot of the time, hi, Amy. A lot of the time, we do a lot of hip opening. Hi, Nicole. We do a lot of hip opening in yoga. Hi, Matt. It's so nice to see everybody. Makes me happy. Very nice. Anyway, we do a lot of hip opening in yoga, but it's important, I think, to also strengthen the outer hips as well. So that way we have a nice balance between the opening and the strengthening. And so we're gonna do a little bit of that. Maybe get a little bit of core in there as well. But for tonight, I thought it would be nice to focus on something that you're grateful for. When things get hard for me, it really, really helps me. And I know it might sound cliche, and it probably is, but in this way, I'm a cliche. But it really, really helps me to focus on something that I'm grateful for. Like even if it's the tiniest thing, just focusing on what you're grateful for. And in the last few days, I've really, really been grateful for all of the people that I have met along my yoga journey. You know, I've met some of the best people. I know the best people, and that includes all of you. Everybody who's watched the videos, who's come to class, who's been a teacher to me, any of that. I feel like, and so I'm dedicating my practice tonight to all of you. But I want you to dedicate your practice to something that you're grateful for, if that resonates with you today. Maybe something that you're grateful for. So that being said, let's start lying back and just get comfortable. Anything you want to do, go for it. Just allow yourself a moment to let go. Give yourself a few breaths. And notice how you feel. I say it a lot, but every moment, especially in our yoga journey, it's always different. So we try to come to our mat without expectations. So that way we can be open to whatever comes our way. We can be open to that. So give yourself a few breaths here. Notice how your body feels. Notice how your mind feels, or where your mind is at. Notice the quality of your breath. And then when you feel ready, slowly exhale all of the air out. Inhale, fill all the way up. Hold it in just for a moment. And then open your mouth and sigh it out. Do that again. Inhale, fill all the way up. Notice what it feels like to be completely full. And then open your mouth and sigh it out. One more time. Inhale, fill all the way up. Hold it in. Maybe sip in just a little bit more air this time. And then let it go. Return to your natural breath. Notice your inhale, notice your exhale. And then when you feel ready, take your time. You're going to slowly bring your feet up over your hips. So feet up to the sky. Knees do not have to be totally straight here, especially if you're feeling any tightness in the back of the legs. You can totally bend your knees, no big deal. So I want you to think about, while you're here, think about your low belly and your low back. So you feel your low back on the floor and feel your low belly. It's like almost like you're trying to take your 2 hip points. If you bring your hands to your low belly and then work your way out to the side, you'll feel your 2 hip points there, those big knobby bones right on the side of your hips. Think about taking those 2 hip points in towards each other. So hugging that in towards each other. You'll feel your low belly engage as you do that. And if that sounds really weird, just imagine it happening. And, everything comes with time. I might not be explaining it correctly for you, but think about hugging those 2 hip bones in towards each other. Low back is on the floor. You're not forcing it down or pressing it down, but you're allowing it to stay down on the floor. So with all of that, keep your hands on your low belly just for this one. And then exhale, you're just going to lower your right leg really, really slowly. And as you do that, notice if your low back starts to arch or if you feel any changes in your belly, think hugging your hip bones in towards each other so you can keep that low belly engaged. Slowly lower your right leg down. It doesn't have to come all the way to the floor. Maybe hover, maybe come halfway, anywhere in between. And then inhale, come all the way back up. Good. Let's do the other side. Exhale. Same thing. So hip points hug in, low belly to the floor, or low back to the floor, low belly towards your spine. Breathe. And then inhale, bring your left leg back up. But again, with the right leg, same thing, really, really slow. So you're not moving this super fast, not trying to see how low you can get as quickly as you can get. So you're going slow so you can feel all those little movements that happen along the way. Enjoy the ride. See if you can relax your shoulders here. Inhale, bring your right leg back up. Again, left leg slowly, slowly, slowly lowers. Back towards the floor, belly towards the floor, hip bones hug in towards each other. Just imagine that if it doesn't make sense. And then inhale, left leg back up. One more time each side. So really, really slow. Give yourself a breath. And then exhale, right leg's gonna lower. Shoulders are soft, face is soft. Really, really slow. Once you get down this time, you're gonna keep your leg hovering just for a moment. Take an extra breath here. See if you can relax your shoulders, low belly towards the spine. And then inhale, right leg up. Good. One more time, left leg, last one. Exhale, slowly, slowly lower. Take your time. So a couple breaths here. It doesn't have to all be an exhale. If you want to slowly exhale, you can, but you can keep breathing here. Belly towards the spine. Low back stay grounded down on the floor. So if your leg gets low and your low back starts to arch up, bring it up a little bit. Take an extra breath. And then exhale, slowly bring your left leg back up. Okay, from here, hug your knees in towards your chest, rock and roll around a little bit. And then coming back to center, you're going to take your arms out into a T and drop your knees over to the right, coming into your twist. Long, deep breaths. And then on your inhale, bring your knees back to center. Exhale, drop your knees over to the left, coming into your twist on the other side. Same thing, right shoulder melts down. Just a couple breaths. Saying hello to your lower back. And then inhale, bring your knees back to center. Hug your knees in, rock and roll up and down. Or you can use your hands to come up too. If rocking and rolling doesn't feel good on your back, don't feel like you have to do it. Along with everything else, make this practice work for you. So if I do something that your body's like, nope, just, modify or skip it or do something else. Do what you need to do to make this feel good for you. So we're going to come onto hands and knees. Hands come underneath your shoulders. Knees come underneath your hips. We're going to cat-cow a couple times. You're going to inhale, arch your spine. Exhale, around. And then just keep going. Follow your breath. Notice your breath. Notice how you're feeling. What are you grateful for today? And again, I'm not saying that to be cheesy. I'm saying that for real. Like, what can you be thankful for? Even when things get hard, even when life feels out of control, is there something that still grounds you? Is there something that can bring you back into the moment? Is there something that can, put tiniest smile on your face? And then on your next inhale, let's come back to a flat back. Think belly towards your spine. And again, feel those hip points hug in, just in your mind. Feel your hip points hug in. So you're going to feel just slightly more round than normal. We're not hanging out in an arch here. You're really going to feel just slightly rounded. And then on your inhale, you're going to take your right leg and kick it back. And you're going just so far that you don't start to arch. We don't want to arch. Keep those hip points hugging in. And it's like your low back is still pressing against the floor. That might mean that you don't lift your leg up as far, and that's really okay. And then if it feels okay, inhale, reach your left arm out in front of you. So while you're here, notice the tendency is to dump into that left hip. So you're really pulling that left hip in towards the midline while you're doing all those other engagements. Breathe. And then exhale, left hand comes down, right knee comes down. Cat-cow once, inhale, arch your spine. Exhale, round. Inhale, come back to your flat back, belly towards the spine, hip points hug in, and then inhale, left leg extends. Good. Again, imagine your back is on the floor. Imaginary back on the floor. So you don't want your back pulling away from the floor. You want it pressing into the floor nicely. And then inhale, if it feels good, right arm reaches. Breathe. Keep that right hip hugging in towards the center line. Keep breathing. Keep noticing. And then exhale, set your right hand down. Set your left leg down. One more time, cat-cow. Inhale, arch. Exhale, round. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, right leg kicks back. Inhale, left arm reaches forward. Take a breath here. Hug that left hip in towards your midline. And then exhale, left hand down, right knee down. Inhale, arch. Exhale, round. Inhale, back into your flat back. Belly towards your spine. Inhale, left leg kicks back. Exhale, right arm reaches. Only if it feels okay. If it feels like you're going to fall over, you can keep that right hand on the floor too. Inhale here. Exhale. Inhale. And then exhale, right hand down. Left knee down. And then from here, you're going to press it back, child's pose or downward facing dog. So either take your hips back towards your heel and drop your head, or tuck your toes, press yourself back, downward facing dog. Give yourself a moment here. Notice how you're feeling. Notice the flow of your breath. And then on your next inhale, take your time. You're slowly going to walk your feet all the way forward to meet your hands. Come into your forward fold. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, fold. Inhale, press into your feet. Come all the way up. Reach your arms up overhead. Open up. Exhale, hands come into your heart. Take a deep inhale here. And a deep exhale. Then inhale, arms reach up. What are you grateful for? Exhale, dive forward, forward fold. Inhale, extend your spine. Exhale, fold. On your inhale, you're going to step yourself back into a plank and then lower your knees back down onto the floor. So we're back on hands and knees. Here we are again. So on your inhale, you're going to hug your right hip in towards the center line. And then exhale, you're going to take your left knee, keep your knee bent, and it's kind of like dog peeing on a fire hydrant pose. So that right hip is hugging in towards center and your left knee's lifting up just as far as you can. Don't force it. Take a breath. And then exhale, left knee back down. Same thing on the other side. Inhale, right leg reaches up. Keep your knee bent. The tendency here is to really pour your weight into that left hip. See if you can keep it in the center. You're going to feel your left hip turn on. You're going to feel your right hip turn on. Maybe some core. It's a good pose, right? Inhale. Exhale. Bring it down. Good. Inhale, arch your spine. Exhale, down dog or child's pose. Then on your inhale, you're going to slowly rock yourself forward into your plank or your kneeling plank. Exhale, lower down. Now get long in your legs. Press the tops of your feet down into the floor. Feel your kneecaps lift just a little bit. Shoulders roll away from your ears. And then again, just for fun here, find your hip points in your mind. Your hip points, hug them in towards the center. Feel your low belly lift just a little bit away from the floor. And then inhale, cobra pose. Exhale, lower down. Keeping all that. I know that's a lot to think about. Inhale, cobra pose. Exhale, lower down. One more time, inhaling cobra pose. Exhale, press yourself back, either downward facing dog or hips to heels for child's pose. Take a breath. Good, and then on your next inhale, slowly, again, either tippy toe, walk, hop, anything you want to do, skip your feet all the way forward to meet your hands. Come back into your forward fold. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, fold. Inhale, press into your feet. Come all the way up. Reach your arms up overhead. Open up. Exhale, hands come to heart. Again, remembering that intention. What are you thankful for? Are you thankful for your outer hips? They are there to support you. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, dive forward, forward fold. Just moving with your breath. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, fold, plant your hands, and then again, step yourself back and lower your knees down onto the floor. One more time, we're gonna do this. Just one more time. So find your center, hands underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips. Hug your right hip in towards the midline, and then inhale, left knee's gonna come out to the left. Take a deep inhale here. Deep exhale. Good, inhale, release. Come back to center. Same thing, other side. Inhale. Left leg's gonna, or I'm sorry, right knee's gonna come up. Left hip's gonna hug in towards the midline. So you're not really putting all your weight into that left hand and your left hip. You're trying to keep it evenly distributed. Take a deep inhale here. And exhale, release. Good. Inhale, arch your spine. Exhale, press it back, downward facing dog. And inhale, slide forward into your plank or your kneeling plank. Exhale, lower down. Just one cobra this time. Get long in your legs, press the tops of the feet down, inhaling into your cobra. Exhale, press it back, downward facing dog or child's pose. Just follow your breath. So if you feel like I'm moving fast, just follow your breath. No need to rush. Long, deep breaths here. And on your next inhale, take your time. You're going to slowly, again, walk your feet all the way forward to meet your hands. You can two-step it. You can hop. You can tippy toe. Take your time. Once you get there, inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, fold. Inhale, press into your feet. Come all the way up. Put your arms up overhead. Open up. Exhale, hands come to heart. And take a deep inhale here. And a deep exhale. And on your inhale, bend your knees, sink your hips, chair pose. But give yourself an extra breath here. Let your toes be light. Lengthen your spine. Imagine you have a block between your legs. Even if your feet are all the way together, imagine you have a block between your legs. You're squeezing your blocks so you feel your legs turn on a little bit. And then exhale, dive forward, forward, forward. Then inhale, extend your spine, flat back, lengthen. Exhale, fold. You're going to plant your hands and step your left foot back. But from here, you're going to stay on the ball of your back foot. We're going to come all the way up. High lunge. Here we are. Little bend in that back knee or big bend in the back knee to start. So you can take your tailbone down, feel your low belly lift. Hip points hug in towards each other. Same, right? Shoulders away from your ears. And then keep all that. You can start to straighten your back leg. But if you start to lose that engagement, keep it bent just for today. Long, deep breaths. And then exhale, hands come down to the floor. You're going to keep your left hand down on the floor. Open your right arm up and twist. Breathe. This should feel kind of nice. Long, deep breaths. Keep lifting your left inner thigh up towards the sky while you drop your right hip down. Deep inhale. Exhale, right hand comes down. Right foot steps back. Regular vinyasa this time. Exhale, you're going to lower down. Or skip this part if you want to. Inhale into your cobra. or your upward facing dog. Open up your heart. Exhale, press it back, downward facing dog or child's pose. Take a long deep breath here. Deep inhale. Deep exhale. But on your next inhale, you're going to slowly step your left foot forward between your hands. Take your time. Again, we're going to stay on the ball of the back foot if that feels okay. We're going to come all the way up into high lunge. Here we are, high lunge. So again, bend your back knee. Once you feel settled, bend your back knee. Take your tailbone down, feel your low belly lift, and then think about those hip points hugging in towards each other. So you really have that low belly engagement. Then inhale, arms reach. Breathe. Notice how you feel. If you want to straighten your back leg a little bit, go for it, but only do it so much that you don't lose that engagement. You really want to keep that. And then exhale, hands come down. Keep your right hand down, open your left arm up and twist. Lifting your right inner thigh up towards the sky, letting that left hip drop down a little bit. Open up your heart. Remember, you can use a block underneath your right hand here. Sometimes it feels nice to bring the floor up to you. Give yourself some support. Inhale. Exhale, left hand comes down. Step your right foot forward, come back into your fold. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale to fold. Inhale, press into your feet. Come all the way up with your arms up overhead. Exhale, hands come to heart. Take a deep inhale here. And a deep exhale. One more time. Inhale, bend your knees, sink your hips, chair pose. So again, pause here in your chair. Imagine there's a block between your thighs and you're squeezing your block. It doesn't mean you have to hug your knees in towards each other. Just imagine it in your mind. Imagine a block. And then exhale, dive forward, forward, fold. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, fold. Plant your hands, step your right foot back. Stay on the ball of your back foot. Let's come all the way up, high lunge. So getting right into it this time. Little bend in that back knee, tailbone comes down, low belly lifts. This time, if you want to take your arms out like cactus arms, take your shoulders away from your ears. Open up your heart, but keep hugging those hip points in towards each other. So you're not going to get all the way into the back bend today. Using it as an opener for the shoulders as you keep that engagement. Deep inhale here. Exhale, hands come down. Right hand comes down, left arm opens up, twist. Breathe. Exhale, left hand comes down. Step yourself back, coming back into your plank or your kneeling plank. Exhale, lowers you down. Inhaling into your cobra or your upward facing dog. Just follow your breath, you guys. Exhale, press it back, downward facing dog or child's pose. Long, deep breath. And then on your next inhale, take your time. You're going to slowly step your right foot forward between your hands. Remember, if it gets stuck, you can always help it along the way. Stay on the ball of your back foot, and we're going to come all the way up. High lunge. Good. Again, just getting right into it. Bend that back knee a little bit. Tailbone comes down, low belly lifts, hip points hug in. And then if you want to, arms come out like a cactus arms. Shoulders roll away from your ears. Opening up through your heart, but keeping that engagement in your core. Long, deep breath here. And then exhale, hands come down to the floor. Keep your left hand down, open your right arm up and twist. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, right hand comes down. Left foot steps forward. Come back into your fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, bend your knees, sink your hips, chair pose. Exhale, press to stand, hands come to heart. Take a deep inhale here. And a deep exhale. Then on your inhale, shift your weight into your right foot. We're going to come into tree. So bringing your left foot either to your ankle, your calf, or all the way up onto your thigh. You're turning your leg out from your hip and just going so far that you feel kind of stable today. Because we're not so worried about this left leg, I want you to think about your right leg today. So you're going to hug your right hip in towards the midline. Feel yourself grow taller. Feel your roots growing down into the floor. And breathe. Your tailbone comes down, low belly lifts. Hip points hug in. And then maybe reach your arms up. So there's a lot of engagement in tree. And when you can find that point, sometimes Not always, but sometimes it can help with balance. So just see what happens to you today. And smile. Balance is fun. Give yourself another breath. And then exhale, you're going to release your left foot back down to the floor and fold. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, fold. Step your left foot back. You're going to anchor down your back heel. We're going to come up into a warrior two. So arms come out into a T. Front heel lines up with the arch of your back foot. Find your feet. Take a deep breath. And then on your inhale, take your left hand back to your left leg. Right arm reaches up towards the sky. Proud warrior. Lengthen. Make some space here. And then exhale. We're going to move into side angle pose. Start with your elbow on your thigh. And take your left arm straight up towards the ceiling. So wrap that right hip underneath you. Take a breath here. And then if you want to, you can take your left palm, flip it back behind you. You can bring your hand to your hip, or you can wrap it around behind you. And breathe. Long deep breaths. Notice where your weight is in your front foot. If you feel like it's all on your toes, see if you can pick those up for a moment. Or if you feel like it's all on your heels, see if you can just distribute it. Just a little bit more. But keep wrapping that left hip underneath you. Keep opening up through your heart. Notice what you're grateful for here as we breathe together in this pose. And if you want to, if you're someone who likes to bring your hand down to the floor just for the last couple of breaths, if you want to, you can do that. If you want to stay up, stay up. There's no point of going further than what you feel like you want to do today. Take one more long deep breath. Good. And then inhale, unwind your top arm. Ooh. Come all the way back up, warrior two. Good. Bring your hands onto your hips. You're going to look forward. Step your left foot forward to meet your right foot. We're going to come into chair pose. So there we are. So right into your chair. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, bring both hands onto your right thigh. So both hands are going to, I'm going to turn towards you so you can see this. Both hands come onto your right thigh, just like that. And then you're just going to slowly start to kick your left foot back. That might mean that your toe comes to the floor behind you. It might mean that your leg lifts. But if it feels okay, I want you to keep that knee bent. I know you can feel it in the leg now. At least I can. I can feel it in my leg. Take another breath. And then exhale. We're going to step it all the way back. Take your time. And land into a high lunge. Ooh. Take a deep inhale here. Good. And then exhale. Both hands come down. Straighten your front leg. If you want to hop that back foot in a little bit. And fold. Give yourself a moment here. This pose we're just using as a relief for your leg. give your quad and your hip a little bit of a break. So I want you to make this work okay for you. So if that means that you hang out back here with your foot a little bit further back, you can do that if you want to hop it in, if you want to use blocks. We're getting a nice hamstring stretch, and we're taking it out of the front of the leg for a moment. So breathe, long deep breaths. And then on the next inhale, just look forward and slowly step your left foot forward to meet your right foot. Come back into your fold. Feel your right side, feel your left side here. Notice how you're feeling. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, fold. 2 more times. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, fold. 1 more. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, fold. Inhale, press into your feet. Come all the way up. Reach your arms up overhead. Open up. Exhale, hands come to heart. Then take a deep inhale here. And a deep exhale. Even when things get hard, you can find just a tiny little bit of gratitude. So shift your weight into your left foot. Right foot's going to pop up. We're going to find tree. Same, other side. So either foot to ankle, foot to calf, all the way up on your thigh. It doesn't matter where your right foot goes today. What we're thinking about is your left leg. So that left hip's going to hug in towards the midline. You're going to press down into your left foot and feel yourself grow like 3 inches taller. Hip points hug in towards each other. Maybe reach your arms up if you want to. Breathe. Be any type of tree you want to be. Long deep breaths. Notice if you're feeling super wobbly today, just, flow with it. It's all right. It's okay to be wobbly. And then slowly on your exhale, you're going to release your right foot back down onto the floor and fold. Take your time here. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, fold. Plant your hands, step your right foot back. Anchor down your back heel. We're going to come up into warrior two. Left side. So again, find your feet here. Notice how you're feeling. Remember, we're not here to judge. We're not here to over push. We're just here to notice. And then on your inhale, take your right hand back to your right leg. Reach your left arm up towards the sky. Proud warrior, lengthen your left side. Make a lot of space. And then exhale, side angle pose. So again, elbow to thigh to start here. So wrap your left hip underneath you. Keep that right leg strong. It's there to protect you. It's there to support you and protect you. Keep your right arm, take your right arm up towards the ceiling. Take a breath here. You can stay, or if you want to take that right hand, flip it back. Again, you can bring your hand to your hip. You can wrap it around behind you. Go as far as what feels okay to you today, and take a couple of breaths. Undisclosed amount of breaths. We're going to be here. But breathe. Remember, we didn't stay here for the whole class on the first side, so we won't on the second side. Just breathe into it. Take your tailbone down towards your back heel. Notice where your gaze is. You can look down. You can look sideways. You can look up if you want to. Long, deep breaths. Keep wrapping that right hip underneath you. Keep breathing. And I know you can feel this. Breathe into it. It's okay. Again, if you want to, for the last couple of breaths, if you want to bring your left hand down to the floor, if you're a person that likes to do that, go for it. Breathe. And then on your next inhale, unwind your top arm and come all the way back up, warrior two. And then when you're ready, you're gonna bring your hands to your hips, slowly step your right foot all the way forward to meet your left foot, come back into your chair pose. So knees are still bent here. Take a breath, we're almost done. Bring your both hands onto your left thigh. So you're using this for some support. Get long in your spine. And then on your exhale, you're gonna shift your weight into your left foot. Keep that left knee bent if that feels okay. And you're just gonna start to kick that right foot back. So it can stay on the floor here, or you can bring it up. It's like warrior three with a bent knee. Breathe. And again, I know you can feel this. Take a breath. Happy, happy day. And then on your exhale, we're gonna land it all the way back in your high lunge. So take your time here. You're gonna wiggle your foot back into your high lunge. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, hands come down. Straighten your front leg. Again, we're using this as a feel-good pose. So you can keep your foot where it is. You can hop it in a little bit. You can use blocks. Anything you want to do. Make it feel nice. Giving the back of the leg a stretch. Giving your quads and your hips a little bit of a break. And on your next inhale, look forward. You're going to slowly step your right foot forward to meet your left foot. Come back into your fold. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, fold. 2 more times. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. 1 more. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, press into your feet. Come all the way up. Reach your arms up overhead. Open up. Exhale, hands come to heart. We're not going to do that one again. So smile here. You can be grateful for that. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, dive forward, forward, fold. What are you grateful for? Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, fold. Plant your hands. You're going to step yourself back. You can come back and lower down onto your knees. Here we are again. One more time. We're going to get into those outer hips. So on your inhale again, you're going to shift your weight into that right knee without that hip jutting out. You want to keep your hips square. And then inhale, take your left leg up. So dog peeing on the fire hydrant. Again, one more time. And then inhale, you're gonna just kick your right leg back behind you. Keep that foot turned out so it's turned to the left. And then exhale, hug your knee in towards your left elbow. So inhale, keep that foot turned out the whole time. You're gonna kick it back. Exhale, hug it in. Again, notice that right hip, pull it in towards center. Inhale, kick it back. Exhale, hug in. One more time, inhale. And exhale. And I know these poses are not easy. Slowly exhale, release that knee back down. These are big, big muscle groups we're getting into. So just do the best you can. Give yourself a break. Be nice to yourself. All right, give yourself a breath here. Maybe inhale, arch your spine and look up. Exhale, round. Inhale, come back to your flat back. And then one more time, square up your hips. Right knee is going to come out to the right. You may hold. If the movement doesn't feel good, remember you can hold. Inhale, lengthen your leg behind you. So you're kicking it back, but your right toes are still turned out. Exhale, bring your right knee towards your right elbow. Inhale, kick it back. Exhale, right knee towards your right elbow. One more time. Inhale, kick it back. Exhale, knee to elbow. I think we did one more on the first side. Well, let's do one more. Inhale, kick it back. Exhale, knee to elbow. And then slowly bring your knee back down. Good. Inhale, arch your spine and look up. Exhale, round. Good. And then press yourself back. Child's pose may feel nice for the hip stretch, or if you want to go into downward facing dog, then do that. Downward facing dog. My words are not coming out correctly today. So take a long, deep breath. And then inhale, let's slide forward into a plank. And exhale, lower down. Take your time here. Inhale into your cobra or your upward facing dog. Open up your heart. Exhale, press it back, downward facing dog or child's pose. All right, so we're gonna get a little more stretchy into the outer hips now. So on your next inhale, let's step your right foot forward between your hands. Bring your back knee to the floor. Then inhale, reach your arms up overhead. So we're nice and warm beside him. Nice and warm. So tailbone comes down, low belly lifts. And then exhale, bring your hands to your heart and we're gonna twist. So left elbow either comes to the inside or all the way to the outside of that right thigh. Again, if you enjoy tucking your back toes under and extending that back knee off the floor, go for it. If that makes you feel like you're gonna fall over today, you don't have to do it. You can keep that back knee down. Take a deep breath, take that right shoulder, roll it back, open up your heart. And then exhale, release your hands down to the floor. And then from here, press yourself back downward facing dog. Or child's pose, same. On your next inhale, step your left foot forward. We're gonna do the same thing on the second side. Bring your back knee down to the floor. Inhale, arms reach up. Tailbone comes down, low belly lifts. Give yourself another breath here. And then exhale, hands come to heart. We're gonna twist to the left. So right elbow either to the inside of the left thigh or all the way to the outside of the left thigh. Breathe. And long, deep breaths here. If you want to tuck your back toes under and extend that knee up, go for it. Just try and keep your hips square as you do that. Take another breath. Or two. Notice how you're feeling. And then exhale, release your hands down. Again, step yourself back downward facing dog for child's pose. And take a long deep breath here. And then slowly step, hop, or float your feet all the way forward to meet your hands. Come into your forward fold. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, fold. Inhale, press into your feet. Come all the way up. Reach your arms up overhead. Open up. Exhale, hands come to heart. Take a deep inhale here. And a deep exhale. From here, inhale, reach your arms up overhead. Exhale, dive forward, forward, fold. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, fold. So you're going to get your fingertips to the floor. That might mean that you bend your knees a little bit. And then on your inhale, you're going to slowly just pick your left foot up, kick it back, like slow motion, and then step it all the way back into your lunge. Then inhale, lengthen your spine here. Exhale, straighten your front leg and fold. Inhale, bend your knee, lengthen your spine. Exhale, straighten your front leg and fold. One more time, inhale, bend your knee. Exhale, straighten your leg. Inhale, bend your knee, look forward. Bring your back knee down to the floor. Wiggle your right foot over to the right. Bring both hands to the inside of your right foot. And we're going to move it into a lizard pose. So I'm going to give you options. We've done this one before. If you've, I think we did it last week if you were here. But if not, it's no big deal. So what you're going to do is get long in your spine. You can stay. You can start to bring your forearms down to the floor if you want to. If you want a little bit of release in the quad, you can bend your left knee and catch your foot. If that looks like crazy talk today, just ignore it. And then again, last variation, if you want it, you can bring that forearm down to the floor like a twisted monkey pose. Breathe, long deep breaths here. What are you grateful for in this pose? What are you grateful for in general? Even on days when it's hard, even on days where you feel like you can't think of anything, try not to be mean to yourself. Maybe just be thankful for the next breath. Just for the next breath. And then when you feel ready, you've got your foot, slowly let it go. We're going to start to come up, and I'm going to give you two options here. So option A is you're going to move it into single pigeon. And single pigeon is taking your right foot over to the left a little bit. You're going to come down onto your right shin, left leg reaches back. You can stay up here, start to fold. Or, that might sound crazy today, so don't do it if it doesn't feel good. Recline pigeon, option B, you come back onto your back, cross your right ankle over your left thigh. You can stay or hug it in. Okay. Try and keep that right foot flexed wherever you are or active, so that way you're not feeling it in your right knee. If you feel it in your right knee, back off or choose a different variation. Keeping your foot on the floor here is a big hip opener. So be nice to yourself wherever you are. Do what you need to do. So you just feel the opening in the outer right hip. It did some work today. Now we're just going the other way with it. Trying to find a nice balance between work and stretching. And a couple of breaths here. Notice your breath. Notice how your body responds to the shape. And then when you feel ready, take your time. We're going to slowly start to come out of this. So if you're on your back, if you want to unwind, shake that leg out, and slowly roll yourself up, make your way back into downward dog or child's pose. If you're in your single pigeon, any way you want to get out of it. If you want to take your leg out and shake it up, or take it up and shake it out, you can. If you want to move through another vinyasa, you may. If you want to take your time, you're going to inhale, come forward into your plank. Exhale, lower down. Inhale into your cobra or your upward facing dog. And exhaling all the way back in downward facing dog or child's pose. Notice your right side here. Notice your left side. And then on your next inhale, take your time. You're going to slowly step your right foot forward. Follow it with your left. Come back into your fold. Inhale, lengthen your spine here. Exhale, fold. Again, I'm going to turn towards you, but you can stay where you are. You're going to take your right foot and step it over your left. No, do it the other way. Take your left foot, step it over your right foot. There it is. And then we're going to fold. So you're going to kind of want your toes to line up here. If they don't line up, that's okay. You're going to think about sending that right hip back. You may not be able to come all the way down to the floor. That's okay. You can bring your hands to your shins. You can bring them to the blocks. You can bring your fingertips to the floor. That right leg is going to be straight-ish. Left knee can bend as much as you need it to. You're going to feel this in the outer right strip of your leg. Outer strip of your right leg. Breathe. Long, deep breaths. Tend to hold a lot of tension in our hips. So I always like to warm my hips way up before I stretch them out. I feel like it helps. But just see how your body responds to it. May respond differently than mine. Everybody is different. So notice how you feel. Take another long deep breath here. And then inhale. You come about halfway up. Any way you want to get out of this, you can unwind your feet. Turn your toes out just a little bit, heels in. We're going to pop down into a squat. So take your feet a little bit further apart. Remember, squat can be up here. Come a little bit further down. You can come all the way down. Couple of breaths. Lengthen your spine. And if your elbows are on your legs and your legs are on your elbows, think about pressing your elbows into your legs, but then also just a little bit, squeeze your knees in towards your elbows. So you still have that engagement in your thighs or in your hips and your thighs. And sometimes that can help with the stretch. Long, deep breaths. And then exhale, release your hands down to the floor. Straighten your legs, come back into your fold. Wiggle your feet back so they're about hip width apart. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, fold. Plant your hands, and on your inhale, step your right foot back slowly. So bend your knee. Take your time. We did this on the first side. Slowly. If you already landed, it's no big deal. Bring your toes down to the floor. Bring your back knee down to the floor. Wiggle your left foot over to the left. Bring both hands to the inside of your left foot. Again, options here. Right here might be where it's at for you. This might be plenty. You can even bring your hands to your blocks or bring your forearms down to your blocks. You can come down here. This again might be plenty. Or if you want to, if your knee's okay with it, you can reach back and find your left foot with your left hand. Or I'm sorry, your right foot with your left hand. Goodness. So right arm can be straight here, or you can come down onto your forearm. And honestly, it just depends on what feels best to you today. Breathe. This isn't a pose you want to over push it because you'll be grinding your teeth in a minute here. So see if you can get into a spot where you can hang out for a few breaths and still soften your face. Notice how you're feeling. Notice the flow of your breath. What are you grateful for? Then if you've got your back foot, slowly let it go. Then we're going to slowly start to come back up. And then again, options, we're going to move into your version of pigeon. So side 2 may feel different than side 1, so do what you got to do. So you're going to take your left foot over to the left. You can stay here in single pigeon, bending that knee, being upright. Remember, you're squaring your hips here. So left hip sliding back, right hip sliding forward. So you still have that engagement. And then you can fold here. Or remember, if that doesn't work for your knee or your hip or anything else, on your back, flex your left foot. You can stay here. This might be plenty. Or you can hug your right knee in. And this may feel good. Any variations, remember, modify it as you need to. not forcing our body into a shape, just moving towards a shape and see how your body responds. Breathe. Notice your jaw, notice your shoulders. Notice how you're feeling. What are you grateful for? I heard it explained once that our mind is like water in a cup. And so our mind takes the shape of our thoughts takes the shape of the container that they're in. So if we focus our thoughts on things that might hurt us, then we kind of take that shape. If we can refocus our thoughts into that of gratitude, we're not doing that in a way of avoidance, in a way of putting on our rose-colored glasses and pretending everything's okay. It's just a good way to reset, to remember what's important. So that way, when we go out and we do the important work that we have to do, we have the right mindset, if that makes sense. When you're ready, you're going to start to walk yourself back up or unwind if you're on your back. And we're going to make our way back one more time. Down dog, child's pose. Any way you want to be there, do that. And then again, if you want a vinyasa, almost forgot this part. If you want a vinyasa, inhale into your plank. Exhale, lower down. Inhale into your cobra or your upward facing dog. Take your time here, no rush. Exhale, down dog or child's pose. Breathe. And then again, when you feel ready, no rush, you're going to slowly walk your feet all the way forward to meet your hands. Come back into your fold. I'm going to turn towards you. You don't have to turn towards me. You're going to slowly, this time, you're going to take your right foot and step it over your left. So your toes are going to kind of line up. They don't have to completely. Your right knee's going to bend a little or a lot. Left leg's going to be straight-ish. And you're going to think about taking that left hip back. And then you start to fold here. And I'm pretty sure, you're going to feel this in the outer strip of your left leg. And breathe. Long, deep breaths. Fingertips can come to the floor. They can come to the block. They can come to your shins or shin or knee or thigh. Breathe here. And then inhale, come about halfway up. You're going to unwind your feet any way you want to. This one, it can be a little bit awkward to get out of that pose. And then one more time, you're going to turn your toes out and your heels and wiggle your feet further apart than your hips. And one more time, you're going to pop down into the squat. So again, you can be up here, you can be lower, go where you need to go, support yourself as you need to. Remember, if you have a block too, you can always sit on your block and squat. It's a nice way to support yourself. So do what you need to do. Forearms press into your thighs, and then your thighs press back into your forearms. Not like you're trying to panini yourself, squish yourself like a panini, but you're just giving yourself support. So use it as a way to support yourself and lengthen your spine. I haven't eaten dinner yet. Focusing on food. Long, deep breaths. Take one more long deep breath. And then exhale, release your hands down to the floor, straighten your legs, come back into your fold. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, fold. Plant your hands, step it back, and lower yourself onto your knees. Lower your hips back towards your heels, come back into child's pose. Notice your breath. Notice how you're feeling. Take one long deep breath here. And then inhale, come all the way up. We're gonna do 3 rounds of back bends. I'm gonna go about 5 minutes over today, you guys. So if you've got to be done right at 10:30, you've got to be done right at 6:30. I'll let you know, but I'm gonna go about 5 minutes over because back bends would feel really good at this point. So you're gonna keep your knees bent, bring your feet to the floor, about hip width apart. And then from here, when you feel ready, you're gonna press into your feet, lift your hips, come up into your bridge. So you can keep your arms down by your sides. You can grab the edges of your sticky mat. If you want to interlace your fingers behind your back, go for that. Keeping your feet and your knees hip width apart, though, think about an imaginary block, or if you have an actual block, you can put a block between your legs, or just imagine a block between your legs that you're squeezing just slightly. Again, you don't want it to shoot out, so you're not squeezing it so much that it's going to explode, just enough that you can feel some engagement. Take a long deep breath here, and then exhale, release and lower down. Let your hips settle, let your eyes be soft. And then again, when you feel ready, press into your feet, lift your hips, come back up into bridge. If you have an upward facing bow practice, if that's something you like to do, you can go for that. Otherwise, just stick with bridge. Might feel nice tonight. So again, imaginary block between your legs. Breathing here. Feel the space in the back of the neck. Long, deep breaths. And then exhale, release and lower down. Let your hips be heavy. Back of the head is heavy. Face is soft. But one more, last one. Inhale, press into your feet, come back up into your bridge. Again, anything you want to do with your hands. Imaginary block between your legs, it's still there. Take another breath or two here, opening up, making some space. And then exhale, release and lower down. And from here, bring your right knee in toward your chest. Extend your left leg out on the mat. Take a breath here, shoulders down away from your ears. And then from here, we're going to twist. So you're going to take your right knee over to the left. Right arm opens out to the right. Left hand can stay on your knee or it can open up, whatever feels best here to you. Make some space. Long, deep breaths. Notice how you're feeling. And then inhale, bring your knee back to center. Then exhale, release your right leg. Left knee comes up. Hug your left knee in. And you give yourself just a moment here. Square off your hips. Extend that right leg out. Hug your left knee in. Relax your shoulders. Deep breath here. And then we're going to twist. So you're going to take your left knee over to the right. Left arm opens out to the left. Again, you can you can keep your hand on your left knee or you can open it up. It doesn't matter. Breathe. And then inhale, bring your knee back to center. Hug your right knee in. Take both feet up towards the ceiling. Take a breath here. You're going to press your hands into your thigh bones and press your thigh bones just slightly back into your hands. Again, you're not shaking here, using all the muscles that you can. You're just engaging just slightly in your legs so you can allow the thigh bones to sink down into their sockets. Breathe. You want to point and flex through your toes or do some ankle circles, go for it. And then when you feel ready to take your time, you're going to slowly lower your legs down. So we're right at 6:30 here. We're going to move into our Shavasana. We're just going to go a couple minutes over. And if you've got the time, try not to skip this part because it's the best. So allow yourself just to sink down. Let your feet drop out or get yourself comfortable. Any sort of props that you like. Feels okay. Keep your palms turning up towards the sky. And a gesture of receiving. Receiving whatever it is that you need today. And then allowing yourself just for a couple of minutes to sink down, supported, letting go. And staying here for as long as you like, for as long as you have. When you feel ready, you're going to start by wiggling your fingers and your toes. Maybe stretching your arms up overhead. Reach down for your toes. And taking your time, slowly bring your knees up into your chest. Roll all the way over onto your right or left side. And then again, taking your time, use your hands to come up to seated. And when you feel ready, you're going to slowly bring your hands into your heart. It feels okay to keep your eyes closed just for another moment or keep your eyes soft for another moment. Do that. Remember what it is that you're thankful for, grateful for in this moment in your life, whatever it is. What are you grateful for? Remembering that when we focus on that thing that drives us or that thing that we love or that thing that just gets us through the next moment, we're not doing it to turn away from our work or turn away from what we need to do. We're doing it so that way we stay focused. Stay focused on what we need to do. We stay focused on the work ahead. It says yogis, we have the hard work of showing up. We have the work of being the voice of right, of being the voice for those that may feel like they don't have one. You have the work of being love. You have the work of spreading love. And we have the work of spreading peace. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Deep peace, deep peace, deep peace. Namaste. Thank you all so much. I am grateful for every single one of you every single day, just so you know. Thank you all. Have a beautiful day. I will be back on Wednesday and enjoy the lovely weather.